Harvey Weinstein is being defended by Woody Allen, sort of, kinda, because Woody Allen seems like the perfect kind of person that you'd want somebody to defend you, in the public eye if you were accused of sexual assault and rape and this kind of stuff. Oh, wait, Woody Allen was accused of that kind of stuff and has had a history of being abusive towards women, at least, and even including his own daughter, Dylan. I'd imagine that. I mean, how stupid is that? Woody Allen thinks that he can do this. This is effing ridiculous. I'm just going to say some of these quotes here, and then I'm going to move on from this. First off, Harvey Weinstein, big pile of shit. Should never be allowed to work in Hollywood. Should be in jail. If any of these accusations turn out to be true, any of these, get him in jail. Get his stupid, fucking fat ass in jail and let him rot. And that's what should happen. Same with Woody Allen. I mean, I don't care if the guy's in his 80s. Because I'm pretty damn certain that any accusations of sexually assaulting your own daughter at 7 years old, wouldn't matter the age, honestly, that should land you in jail. But for some reason, it didn't. Now, if it wasn't true and it was just made up, okay, then fine, Woody Allen's off the hook. But it seems like the family members are backing up the thing that Woody Allen did that. So why is this guy defending Harvey Weinstein? Well, Bullets Over Broadway, which was a Harvey Weinstein produced film that relaunched Woody Allen's career, and this was after this said, sexual assaulting of his 7-year-old daughter, of Woody Allen's 7-year-old daughter. Harvey Weinstein clearly must have seen something in Woody Allen like, oh, I have an idea of what I can do to women. Of course, Harvey Weinstein has not been accused of sexually assaulting children yet. I mean, hopefully that doesn't end up being the case because he's already in enough hot water as it is. Woody was quoted as saying, I mean, it's like, and this is it. It's like, okay, they worked together on several films. Because again, Harvey Weinstein resurrected his career, like through Miramax and stuff like that. But Mr. Allen denied knowledge about any misconduct. No one ever came to me or told me any horror stories with any real seriousness. And they wouldn't, because you aren't interested in it. You were interested in making your movie. Basically what he's saying is that he went like la 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 la. That's essentially what he did. And that's what a lot of people did, apparently, too. Now, I don't want to let Ben Affleck off the hook. Stuff that he did, groping women, or at least one particular woman. And I don't remember the woman's name. Sorry, I didn't commit that to memory. That's not a really good look for Ben Affleck, and I think is going to affect his career. Especially since he spoke out against Harvey Weinstein and stuff like that. And then that kind of crap came out. Now, look. I don't care if you're a woman in a position of power over men and women. If you're a man in a position of power over men and women, you take advantage of somebody like that, whichever gender, because of your position of power, you take advantage of them and sexually assault them and all that stuff, you deserve no sympathy. None at all. And of course, he even said, Woody Allen said, in the same article with the BBC, which actually is a pretty good article, by the way. I mean, it's a pretty good interview. The whole Harvey Weinstein thing is very sad for everybody involved. Except Harvey. Tragic for the poor women that were involved. Sad for Harvey that his life is so messed up. So messed up. I think he messed up a lot more lives than his own life. Oh, he feels that he should be able to do this and this kind of stuff. He grew up in the 60s and 70s. It was a different time. It was this, it was that. I'm going to leave the whole thing about the president sexually assaulting women out of it because that's a whole other can of worms. And honestly, I've beaten that horse about Trump, literally to death. I mean, because you could say a lot of stuff for Trump for days and days and days about stuff he did to women and otherwise. It was before he became president, obviously. Not that would have stopped some voters. But this whole thing with Woody Allen defending Harvey Weinstein, like Harvey Weinstein, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this stuff was allowed to go on, and anybody that knew that this stuff was going on, you are just as culpable if you did not say anything. Oh, I didn't want to affect my roles. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that. But here's the thing. If you got the guy out of power, maybe you would have gotten somebody better in a position of power. And maybe, just maybe, some of these women would have been saved. Now, is that to blame the other people that saw this stuff? Well, sorry, you see this kind of stuff, it's better to say something and turn a blind eye. I mean, really, honestly, I mean, what could possibly go wrong, as Bubsy would say? That's an old video game reference. Sure, you might affect your standing in Hollywood, but guess what? I think you could sleep better at night knowing that you put a criminal, and that's what Harvey Weinstein is, a goddamn criminal, in jail and in his place where he belongs. And even Woody Allen even commented. He cautioned about rushing to judgment, which agreed is true. It is an innocent until proven guilty society, but all these accusations are not good for Harvey Weinstein. He's been taken from his position of power, shall we say. But Mr. Allen, actually Woody Allen, because I'm not going to call him that. It's funny that his last name Woody, considering all the sexual assault and all the young women he dated. It's kind of funny his name is that. You don't want it to lead to a witch hunt atmosphere, a Salem atmosphere, where every guy in office who winks at a woman is suddenly having to call a lawyer to defend himself. That's not right either. Now that's true. I mean, guys do. If guys are just nice to women, but come across as creepy, then that's one thing. And that's why I'm kind of wearing this shirt, because both Weinstein and Woody Allen are creepy bastards, creepy old bastards that should be locked up. It is not right for people to be accused of crimes, or just because they're being nice to be accused of sexual assault, or for people to point and say they are something that they aren't without proof. But the proof's coming out here. It's been out about Woody Allen, and it's coming out about Harvey Weinstein. And I debated talking about this for a while, but I finally decided, after seeing what Woody Allen said, oh, by the way, he's married to, who was his adopted daughter at the time, Sun Yi. And the relationship was made aware to Mia Farrow. Like, she was made aware of the relationship, I think, when Sun Yi was 20. 2021, something like that. I don't remember the exact age, but it was when she was really young. And by the way, Woody Allen was born in 1935. So this relationship, their marriage actually happened in 97. So she was 27 and Woody Allen was 62. Lovely. Look, I've dated women that were younger than me. I've slept with women that were younger than me. But I've never been like that. I mean, that's ridiculous. And for anybody to say, oh, it was a different time that Harvey grew up and he didn't know how to respect women. If you have it built in you from an early age, I don't care what decade you grew up in. I don't care what era you grew up in. You knew how to respect women. Women knew how to respect men. And I mean, just saying that, you knew how to respect your fellow person. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Oh, I'm in position of power, I'll just exert my authority over all these women. I'm not going to go over all the exploits and all the stuff that Harvey Weinstein did. You guys can Google search and check that shit out and draw your own conclusions. I'm just giving my opinions. But, it's funny that Ronan Farrow, or Woody Allen's estranged son, actually published an article in the New Yorker recounting the 13 women that have accused Harvey Weinstein, who say that he sexually harassed or assaulted them. Now look, sexual harassment takes place every damn day. It's unfortunate, and on all sides. Whether it's men to other men, women to other women. Which actually, women to other women tends to be the ugliest one, I found out, because some women can be vicious towards each other. But a lot of men think that they can still be this way, especially now in this current environment, think they can be mean towards women again. Women think that they can just suddenly judge guys. It's a toxic environment in every sense of the word. It has unfortunately been that way. Now, it's not that way among a lot of people. I'm friends with guys and girls and try to respect them as best I can on the internet and in real life. I'm not perfect, but I try to do that. But this whole idea of, okay, well, some people have said that these women are just looking for a payday. Or maybe because these allegations started coming out and people finally felt the need to speak up, other actresses wanted to speak up. That's entirely possible. And doing this kind of thing to somebody you're attracted to, I don't care what it is. If it's unwarranted attention, you should never, ever do that. If they don't want your attention, your affection, stuff like that, you need to drop it. That kind of crap is bad. If I've ever been, it's happened very, very rarely, where I've been with a woman. And granted, this is especially a few years ago. I can recount this stuff. One in particular was a friend of a friend. We were going to sleep together. She suddenly didn't want to go through with all of it. She didn't want to have sex. I go, okay, let's sleep together. Like, well, she said, "Are you sure?" Well, I said, "Nope." You said no. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to open up that can of worms. Opening up that can of worms. If somebody says no, or isn't sure about it, be nice to them, comfort them in this kind of stuff, especially if you care about them, and make sure that they feel cared for. Because otherwise, it's pretty damn ridiculous to try and convince them or coerce them, because that's not going to make you a good person or this kind of stuff. Just move on to somebody else that you like, that maybe likes you, and go with that. Because otherwise, you're just going to be known as the creep, whether you're a man or a woman, that took advantage of somebody. And that's just wrong. It's just, there's a whole can of worms here with Woody Allen and Harvey Weinstein that I've opened up that I want you guys to comment on, and I want to hear about this stuff. Both guys are creepy as fuck. And I'm sorry, just both guys are creepy as fuck. Both guys are ridiculous, and I can't stand either of them. Honestly, can't. I haven't been able to stand Woody Allen for a while. He's a stupid comedian. He's not funny. I never have seen the appeal of his movies. I've seen quite a few of them. There's this underlying creepy tone about them. Harvey Weinstein, if anybody wants to try and defend Harvey Weinstein, you piss the hell off. Because unless all this stuff is proven to be completely false, then Harvey Weinstein is guilty of being not just a creep, but a rapist, and a lecherous, just a complete jerk towards women. There's really no other way to say it. That's just how it is. And now we move on from that. So thank you guys for putting up with that rant. We now move on to wrestling news. Where, well, okay, let's be honest about something. The rumored Survivor Series, and I'm not going to talk about Neville's release. If Neville quit WWE, best of luck to him. Land in New Japan or somewhere, do well, knock it out of the park. He's going to do great. But I'm going to talk about the rumored main event Survivor Series. Jinder Mahal, WWE Champion versus Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion. First off, if Jinder's dealing with a legit shoulder injury, this is a bad idea. It's a really bad idea, because even though Brock's a safe worker, and Steve Austin has spoken about the fact that he is a safe worker, because Brock worked a little bit with Steve landing with an F5 a couple times, or at least especially once, like built it to Mania 20, which Lesnar versus Goldberg was it was bad. The idea, though, is that anybody thinks that Jinder Mahal is on Brock Lesnar's level, and I'm not even a big Brock Lesnar fan. I've been bored of the guy for a while. But at least they've done a good job hyping some of his matches. They've been kind of shit. The last good one that he was really involved in was the SummerSlam Fatal 4-Way, which was just tremendous. Oh my God, that was just tremendous. But the idea of having this, people say it's a fresh match, it's this, it's that, or this kind of stuff. Okay. You could have had, because last year, AJ Styles was on Team SmackDown. He was WWE Champion. So what you have, just have Jinder on Team SmackDown. You can have him get DQ'd because the Stings interfere. But this kind of stuff. But have him on Team SmackDown. Have Lesnar versus Balor or this kind of stuff. Because Balor at this point you get his rematch. He's not going to win, but at least it'll hopefully be a decent match. Unless they decide that Balor just doesn't have the drawing power. Which is entirely possible. They might decide he's too prone to injuries. He's this kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of this Mahal versus Lesnar match. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's going to really stink up the joint. Well, I hated Lesnar versus Goldberg last year. I hated the build to it, and I hated the match that happened. At least it created a hell of a moment where, holy crap, Goldberg squashed Lesnar in like 86 seconds. And I remember vividly, like it was yesterday, even though it was almost a year ago, which is hard to believe, sitting there with my best friend, and he's laughing about it. He's shocked, but he's also laughing about it. And I'm just like, I mean, I can't recreate the reaction I had. I actually wish that I had recorded how I had reacted to it, and I would have just been like, the fuck? This needs... The one thing about Lesnar versus Jinder, though, if you're going to go with it, it needs to end with Lesnar destroying Jinder in like 2 minutes. Because Jinder's not on Brock's level. Jinder's not on anybody's level. He's below that. He's the worst WWE champion of all time. Now, part of that's creative. Part of that's also just the fact that he just can't fucking wrestle. He can't fucking wrestle. His promos are actually better than his wrestling ability, and that's not saying much. He has not delivered more than a 2-star match. A 2 out of 5-star match. He's not any good. He's a terrible WWE champion. He's going to at least keep the WWE championship until the Rumble. I bet you they keep it on him till Mania. I bet you they actually have him keep it past Mania, have him hold it to SummerSlam, and beat CM Punk's record. Which they could do. Like, because he wanted a Backlash May 21st. Yeah, May 20th or 21st of this year. He could hold it conceivably till SummerSlam and smash CM Punk's record. Now that would be, I mean, I wouldn't put it past WWE to do that, but that's a whole other bit of fancy booking. I'm just not a fan of this Lesnar Jinder match because it's not good. It's just not good. It's pretty terrible. So anyway, I'm actually going to finish up with one more thing. It's about Roman Reigns. About Roman Reigns, the big dog, putting on his big boy pants and acting like he actually hasn't been getting booed out of the building. And the only reason that he's tweeting like this and trying to tweet like he's such a big deal, even though attendance is down and ratings are down, which isn't all on Reigns, it's on creative, but Reigns ain't exactly helping by not being a good, not being a very good character. They did the Shield reunion on Raw, for those of you who didn't see. By the way, if you didn't see, check out my review and you'll find out what Chris and I had to say about it, which we weren't the biggest fans of. They reunited the Shield, and Reigns actually got cheered there, and then in a segment where he powerbombed Braun Strowman, even though some fans, I think, weren't the biggest fans of it. But then they had backstage Ambrose and Rollins cut promos, and they got cheered, and then Reigns cut a promo and he got booed. But because he got a little bit of this, he has tweeted recently, I'm not, and I'm not going to say this much because he did tweet something about Vegas back on October 3rd when the terrible Las Vegas shooting happened. And it's a terrible thing to happen. I hope everybody heals as best they can, seeks the help they need, and whatever. For those that are still alive, those that are lost, we are so sorry. We, like every good red blood American is. But Reigns has gone on a tweet, not a tweet storm, because he doesn't tweet that often. But somebody put up his whole thing, and it was a thing about WWE where people were, when DX was 20, had officially become 20 years old, and you had various superstars doing the DX thing or doing this kind of stuff and whatever, doing this and having fun. And somebody tweeted Roman Reigns. It was obviously 1995, and I got nothing against this person. I got nothing against this person at all. I'm just going to do for clarity, so I credit them. Quote, Roman Reigns, it's like Roman Reigns sends this to him, we don't need people running around here acting like DX from 20 years ago. And he says, me and my boys beat the DX, no need to celebrate them. The realest generation is what I celebrate and represent. You beat the old age outlaws, middle age outlaws, and Kane and corporate slacks. That's what you beat, Reigns. Now, granted, it's not like you could actually bring DX all out of retirement and have him do that. He did beat Triple H at Mania 32 in one of the worst WrestleMania main events ever. But then he tweets somebody, and this person did mess up one word. Okay, and they could English may not be their first language. I don't know. Accidents happen. I botch tweets all the time. It's basically saying that the four greats in WWE, Roman Reigns, something you're never going to be, the Nature Boy, and it was a tweet by Ric Flair opposed to the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, which was Austin to the left, Flair, then Rock, and then Hogan at the far right. I could probably create my own Mount Rushmore, and Hogan would not be on it. I don't know if Rock would be on. No. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. He says, if you didn't completely screw this tweet up, it would have been great. That's their mountain. I'm here to build my own. Hashtag realist generation. You've barely managed to dig up enough dirt to make a pile about a foot high. I mean, look, is Reigns as bad of a wrestler as people say he is? No. He is a good performer. Now, he's probably just playing a character here on Twitter. But to me, it sounded like he was disrespecting the past. He's here to build his own. Well, Reigns, at this rate, if the company keeps going the way it is, hell, if wrestling keeps going the way it is, wrestling might not be around by 2030. I hope that's not the case, because I want to see wrestling continue to draw, but who knows? And a Reigns fan sends him this tweet, and it's about Cody Rhodes. Former WWE star Cody Rhodes says he's the biggest draw in wrestling. And he just said in a promo. I just want to clarify that. I think Cody's very good. He's done very, very well for himself since leaving WWE. But of course, Reigns, I don't even need to click the link and watch it. If that house didn't draw over 100,000, he's just talking silly walkover talk. First off, Reigns, and him and Cody could be friends. I don't know. Just based on that tweet, Cody was born with the business in his blood. Reigns also has the business in his blood, but guess what? Cody learned the right way and got into it and has done very, very well for himself. If Reigns hadn't bought him out in football and been a failure of a football player and had the perfect look, the look that Vince and Triple H and others love, Reigns would have just been another failed football player, maybe gone to the CFL. And all due respect to the CFL, it's produced some very nice games and has some very nice moments. Reigns is, he got cheered and suddenly he's going to start, acting like he's the biggest deal. Roman Reigns may sell a lot of merch. He may do a whole lot of stuff for children and that kind of stuff. And he's got children himself, so I understand that. But coming across like a douche like this, it just screams that he doesn't care about, if it's outside WWE, I don't care about it. Well, you might want to care about it, Reigns, because if more people in WWE leave and go to these indies and these promotions that you don't care about, and the WWE doesn't care about, then guess what? WWE may not become the end-all, be-all. Other companies may rise up. Now, I don't know. I hope that happens. WWE is still the end destination for a lot of people. But Cody and even Ryback to an extent, and a few others have proven you don't need WWE to succeed. That you can succeed if you market yourself correctly and get out there and do the indies and stuff like that. And it's just stupid. It's just really, 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 really stupid. Reigns comes across like a misinformed idiot here. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. So those are my 3 topics. I really appreciate you guys putting up with this. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Do you think that I went too far in any of these rants? Do you think I went too far in the first rant? I don't really care if you think that I went too far because it's my opinion. And Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen are pieces of shit. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. My Twitter handle is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.